Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee. Today we are going to be going through a little bit more in depth of the Hannah checker, just because I didn't show you this before. Inside the box you get the powder solutions. You get a few in there, which is good, so you don't need to buy straight away. These do work out a bit more expensive than the usual branding test kits. You know, you get like 60 in a test for like 10 quid. The actual egg itself is just like a little timer. It's very good. You get two of the glass vials. You get a little pipette to get your water out with, and an instruction manual just here. Pretty straightforward. Now the reason obviously behind this is that with these test kits, nitrate test kits, you can just look at the coloured charts by Salifert, Elos do some, and Aquaforest, and they're all really good. But if you want to dial those numbers in and get an actual accurate number of where you're reading, this was really frustrating for me. So yeah, I just got one of these as I've got the phosphate checker and the alkalinity checker, so it made more sense to get this as well, just to complete that area. Calcium and magnesium are fine. They really don't fluctuate that much anyway, so you don't really need to test. You do test for it, but you can use the chart ones, they're fine. But I think for the nitrate high range is the best. Gives you an accurate reading. What am I using today? I'm using some gloves, just plastic gloves. There is a warning on these the powders, and yeah, obviously it contains some sort of acid. You know, it's probably fine if you get it on your fingers, but just wouldn't do it around pets or babies, or just be wary really. And I'd rather just use gloves. Using a pair of scissors to cut this open with, and we're just going to get started. So first thing is obviously protection. So just if you've got gloves, probably best to wear them. It's just easier that way. I just don't trust these things. We're using a little sieve thing, funnel, and this will just make things a lot easier to work with. We're just going to open the vial. I'm going to fill up the vial to the 10 millimeters. So we're just going to move this over. So I just use these syringes that come with the other test kits. They're in 5 millimeters. Just makes it easier that way. I know this is a very boring video, guys, on the fact that it's just a test kit and everything else, but anyone that wants to dial it in, wants to see this product, wants to you know about testing a little bit more, this is a great product. I'm really happy with it. So just at the 10 millimeter mark, there we go. Okay, so once you've done that, you want to go and put your lid on. Yeah, and then you want to wipe down the actual pipette. So this, make sure there's no fingerprints, marks on it. You just use a cloth. I just usually run it around a piece of cloth or something dry. Make sure there's no marks on it. Once you've done that, bring your egg timer over, press this button here, comes on. C1 is the first one. This is to calibrate, calibration number 1. Press the egg timer down. When you hear the click, press the button just once. That will calibrate. Okay. What I do is I get the funnel thing, I'm going to call it. I place it inside the box. You can get a small one, big one, whatever you fancy. Move this to one side slightly. Open up this lid ready. Pull out the vial for the reagent, which is number 2. I get the packet, I just cut along the dotted line. I give the packet a good flick to get any of the powder basically towards the edges. Cut the packet. Okay, I use some little scissors, just pry the packet open, and then I just throw that into the little funnel. Just giving the packet a little open, make sure there's none of the powder left in there. And what I do with the packet is basically disperse it into another glove. Just keeps that all safe. No one's going to pick it up, no animal or anything like that. I've got a cat, so that's that. Grab the vial, take the lid off, grab the cone with all the powder in. What I do is I just give it a little flick. You can see the powder going in. Just make sure that's all in there. I'll wash this out after this, both of these. Place that back, put the lid on. I give this a good shake for probably 30 seconds to a minute, and just make sure it's clear before you finish. You can see it's very cloudy. See all the parts in there. It's got to be completely dissolved before you put it in, so just keep shaking. We're just going to pause this and bring you to the next part. So you can see after shaking it, it's gone slight of a huey pink. That's pretty much of all nitrate tests. They go a slight pink after kind of doing them, I believe. And this is kind of clear now. I've wiped down the actual pipette. There is still a few particles flying around there, you can see. So really we just want to wait for that to kind of dissolve, but it's taking its time. Now the actual time part, so once you've done this and you've wiped down this, you place it inside, showing the 10 ml at the front. Close the lid, click, and hold down the button this time until you see the next part. The 7-minute timer. We're going to skip this. So the timer did a 7-minute timer to run down to get the results, and we're just obviously coming to the end of that now, so 8 seconds and we'll have that result. And this will just give you an idea of where you're sitting and how to address that. So if you have a coral reef tank, this would be a good thing to check. Now I'm at 5.6, which is good. I didn't think I was going to be. The other day I was at 2.4, but I did dose nitrates, nitrate plus by Nilos. So this stuff does really work. And that will be enough for me now. I wanted to be at 5 and I'm just a bit above. And that's it now. I don't need to dose any for a while. I will keep an eye on it weekly, do a test weekly every Friday or Saturday. And if it drops below 3 or 4, I'll dose a little bit to bring it up. Obviously you want it consistent. I think my nitrates are normally sitting around 2 to 3 ppm. So 5.6 is really good. And I'll see if the results in the tank show anything different to that. Phosphates I'm still struggling with, but that's a topic, another video. Guys, please, if you like the channel, you want to subscribe, help out. I know this wasn't really interesting, but you can quite clearly see that it's showing a number. You can go off that, you can dose with that. The instructions on these bottles are really good, and this is a clean way of dosing nitrates instead of obviously trying to feed more and polluting the tank. Yeah, really happy with this. Yeah, if you again find this interesting or just something to go off, then obviously go off that. So really, it's open to interpretation where your nitrates should be. Everyone will have their own opinion on it. But I think with corals especially, I think you need them anywhere between 3 and 5 ppm. Some people have them much higher at 10, 20, which is crazy. But their tanks are doing really well, so good to them. And corals do need it. They do need nitrates and they do need phosphates. Otherwise, if you bottom out at 0, you'll end up with some sort of bacterial bloom or something else that will come along and kick you in the ass, like diatoms or something else that's, because the system is out of whack. So my phosphates, I'm trying to get them between 0.02 ppm and keep that steady, but it's proving difficult. If you have any algae in your reef tank, the phosphates will be sucked up quicker than they can kind of show on the tests. And it's careful not to overdose on phosphates, because otherwise you'll have a massive algae issue. So just try and keep those in check. Nitrates should be up and phosphate should be down, but you should have an equal showing of something. Okay, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next video.